Hello, everyone. How are you today? Good evening to you all. Good afternoon and good morning to wherever you're watching. This is your host, Sedlesa Mary. Today I'm here just to continue with the nursing education. Remember, I'm your nurse educator and mentor to many. So we're going to discuss more about healthy living. My health is my wealth. And we've been learning from all the other episodes. This is episode 3. We've had the first episode where we learned about the importance of sleep, why it is important to sleep, what happens if you lack sleep, and we managed to learn so much about sleep. And I hope the ones who have been listening, if you're not listening to the channel, please go back and learn about sleep, the importance of sleep, how long you should sleep, and all that. Please subscribe, tune in, like, so that you can get all the things that I share in my YouTube channel. We also learned about water, and we learned the importance of water, why we need to drink water, and from what, how can we treat water, how can we make water very much available for us. So today we are going to learn about the third thing. The third thing, which is so important and so crucial, and it's also a gift that God has given us. And just to mention, we'll be having a slight change, moving from the Thursdays because of due to some technical issues. We will be moving to Tuesday, every Tuesday. So soon we will be changing from Thursdays. Actually, this will be the last show that will feature on a Thursday from 8:30 to 9. So we'll be having our shows on every Tuesday from 8 to 8:30, so that all of you can learn and I can be available for you at the same time. So today you're going to learn about food. I know we cannot live without food. I know we have what is trending right now in the online, what is trending in Kenya about people who have been fasting, refraining themselves from eating so that they can see God. So, and we find many people dying. My big question is, for how long can you stay without food? Why does our body really need food? Food is so important to our health. And food being important, it helps us. It sends messages. Whatever you eat sends message to your body. So we want to learn about food because food is important. Let's learn from one of our very old, they call the Hippocrates. Hippocrates says, let food be thy medicine, and let thy medicine be food. I don't know how true that is. Every day when you sit down for breakfast and you look at your plate, do you see it as medicine? Do you see the food that you serve yourself over lunch hour as medicine? He said, let food be your medicine and let your medicine be food. Or do you want to end up using drugs? That is what, in essence, what you're saying. What you eat should be able to cure your body. You should not just eat because people are eating. You should not eat because you're craving for the food. You should not eat because it is time to eat. We had one of the politicians sometimes back who was saying that he doesn't just eat because we have to eat 3 meals a day. He eats when the body demands for it. So he can stay without food. If he ate a heavy supper, he can stay without eating, not necessarily having 3 meals a day. So my big question today, I want us to learn, and we'll make every dish that we will be serving on our tables, every order that we'll be making from the hotels will be food that is medicine to us. That means it will be food that when we use it, it will send signals to our body and it will bring healing to our body at the same time. So let food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. So that is what you're going to learn today. Thank you so much. Well, welcome back. Welcome back. I want you to subscribe, to like my channel, because you're going to be learning. I'm your host, and I'll be teaching you, because I'm a nurse who would like to educate you more about your health. I said, Hippocrates said, let food be your medicine and let medicine be your food. What kind of food do you eat? Because if you eat vitamins, it will provide protection to your body. If you eat carbohydrates, it will give energy to your body. If you eat proteins, it will build your body. So what kind of food are you eating? Why? Because food is central to health. That is a very important point. Food can either enhance your health or damage your health. Which one would you like? I think life is about choices. You either choose this way or that way. So, do you want to choose food or feeds that will enhance your health, or would you rather go for feeds that will damage your health? How would you know this is damaging or this is building me? The kind of food that you will, because food gives instructions to your body. I know we have very many fast foods nowadays have become very common. Foods that are easily made, easily eaten, and easily digested. Did you know that if you eat food that has got high in glucose, that is already processed, the information it brings to your body is it is easily absorbed, it is easily metabolized, and now insulin is released at high levels in your body. And the more insulin released in your body, the more you feel the hunger to eat more and more. And more insulin breaks down the food that is in your body and stores excess of it as fat. And that is why you'll be asking yourself, I always eat, but I grow fat. What kind of food are we eating? Today you're going to learn the kind of food you need to eat, the kind of food and at what time you eat. Because I've seen friends of mine who at lunchtime they'll sit near a Kokoteni place or a fruit parlor and eat fruits and then go home and say, I ate fruits, but I'm not losing weight. What kind of food are we supposed to eat? Now, food that is high in fiber is the one that is most encouraged. If you have a plate, half of it should be food that is full of fiber, high fiber diet. Why should we eat high fiber diet? Why should your plate, half of it, carry a high fiber diet? Because high fiber diet helps your body, it gets absorbed slowly. And apart from that, the fiber enables your GI or GI system to move fast and you're able to poop. Did you know it is said that once you've eaten the whole day and you go to the toilet to eliminate the waste should be 1 kg. Yes, it should be 1 kilo. So if you're not eating food that is high in fiber, will you really generate high 1 kg of poop? I've had people coming to hospital and saying, I don't empty my bowels. I don't go to the washroom for long call for even 3 days. It is not healthy. Ideally, if you sleep well, drink enough water at the right time that I've stated, eat high fiber diet, you will have the poop that should be there. But unfortunately, we eat refined food. We eat pizza. We eat chocolates that easily gets absorbed. They're not high in fiber. So all of it goes into our bloodstream. It is changed into fat and we become very plump. Food that we eat should be high fiber because high fiber encourages elimination. High fiber encourages good absorption of nutrients from our bodies. Food gives our bodies information. What kind of information would you like to give your body? Eat high fiber diet. And where do you get high fiber diet? Vegetables, cabbage, kale, spinach, broccoli, carrots, all those together are high fiber diet foods. Fruits, bananas. So I'm talking in the context of not somebody who is diabetic or has a sugar problem. That one is a different category. That is for another day. But if you're normal, you don't have diabetes or sugar, high level of sugar problems, you're just a normal human being who is living their life, your food, half of your plate should be high fiber. So somebody might be asking me, yes, I cook. I cook a lot of cabbages. Half of my plate is high fiber. But my question is, how do you cook this fiber? How do you make this food that is of high fiber? Because if you make it with a lot of oil, then you're not even helping in any way. If I take sukuma wiki, I take the spinach and I put oil, a lot of oil in it, and I fry it very well. I add blue band, I add coconut oil, and I serve half of the plate, then I've missed it. It is very much encouraged that most of your feeds should be boiled. Boiled food is good, and or steamed, not even boiled, I would say steamed. Vegetables should not be overcooked. You should be able to chew them. They should be almost semi-raw. Why? Because the nutrients, every time you boil food, the nutrient level, especially vegetables or high fiber food, the nutrient level is decreased because heat spoils most of the nutrients, or because our vitamins in these vegetable foods easily get destroyed with heat. So if you want to enjoy a high fiber diet food, make it raw. Like you can make a salad, half of a plate you have it with salad. Wash it very well. And we have, nowadays we have things that you can use to sanitize the water as you clean your vegetables. People are using vinegar to do what? To dress their vegetables. So let the vegetables be well washed, well cleaned, and served raw if possible. But if you are not a fan of raw, make sure you steam with salt. Steamed food is very good. It's low in oil, because oil is a fat, and fat also, once it's accumulated a lot in your body, it can easily damage your body. So this fat, I know people like using saturated fats or solid oil. I come from a place whereby people like making chapatis with samli. We call it samli. Chapatis are samli do chapati poa. That is a very wrong move. Why? Because any cooking oil that you ever use, but if you put it at room temperature in your kitchen and it is still solid, just know when it goes inside your body, it will not melt so much. Anything you see solid by your eyes at room temperature, not in the fridge. Any cooking oil that is solid, not in the fridge, at room temperature, then that is not good for your health. You should use liquid oil, because as liquid as it is at room temperature, then it is going to even be better for your body. So avoid using cooking fat that is solid. Some people say, oh, I will melt it. I will melt it first before I use. But the compound in it already makes it already saturated. If it is not saturated, if it is solid on room air or room temperature, sorry, then it is not very healthy for you. We still make very good chapatis with what? Cooking oil that is liquid. So half of your plate has to be vegetables. And the vegetables, preferably if they are raw, that is, you have cleaned them well. You have cleaned them thoroughly well. In fact, when I came to Nairobi, I was being told everything that I wash, I use soap and water. So my tomatoes, I clean them with soap and water first before I cut them. My fruits, before I eat them, I clean them with soap and water. That was what I was told. Otherwise, I used to get H. pylori all the time. I have H. pylori. I'm in the hospital. So wash your fruits thoroughly well. Wash your vegetables thoroughly well before you can eat them. Otherwise, in the bid to become healthy, you start introducing other microorganisms that can damage your health at the same time. Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're watching me. You're a nurse educator and mentor. Today we're just talking about food. After you've made sure that half of your plate is vegetables, you've washed them thoroughly, you've decided to steam, or it's cabbage and carrots, you've decided to grate and eat it raw after cleaning it well, half of it should be that. Why? Because you need as much vegetables, as much as much what do you call it? As much vegetables, as much fiber, high fiber diet. That is should be your motto. Now the other half of your plate should be divided into two. You need proteins, the other quarter, and the last quarter you need carbohydrates. Now let's go to proteins. I know we have so many forms of proteins. We have milk, we have animal protein, and also we have plant proteins. It is said that we avoid using animal protein. Animal protein, especially red meat. Why? Because red meat has been found. Over as much as people say, oh, you know, cows eat grass, and if they eat grass, everything that they have consumed is composed of grass. So why can't I just feast on my meat very well? Let me say this. When half of your plate is high in fiber, high in vegetables, the other half should have meat. The other quarter should have meat, or should have any other form of protein. Animal protein gives you vitamin B12, very true. But try as much as possible to minimize the use of animal protein. Some people, it is common, some people even take 2 weeks before they can eat animal protein. Another study was done amongst the people from the highlands. They eat a lot of nyama choma, but they don't develop problems with their tummy. They don't get cancers of the stomach, unlike people who eat roasted meat. And it was being discovered as the way, the technique they use to roast their meat. First of all, they pick the goat, just the way the goat eat as it has been killed. They put a stick that goes through from the hind side of the goat up to the mouth, and they roast it as it is. And as they continue to roast it and it burns, they start peeling off the skin. And the meat that comes out, they mix it with herbs. And the herbs help in digestion. But what happens to us? We go to a joint, a nyama choma joint, the food has been roasted on a grill, and we dig in and eat as much as possible. Without any kachumbari, because that food is already dead, you need something. That is why I say high fiber on it to eat it with, so that the food can easily be digested into your stomach. Otherwise, red meat eaten as thick as it is, as roasted as it is, when it gets to your stomach, it takes a lot of time before it can be grounded. Remember, from the time you consume food to the time it gets digested, it takes about 3 hours. So you can imagine if meat and the large chunks of meat we normally take when you eat nyama choma, it's not even fully digested well by the time 3 hours are over because of how it is. But the older people, why they never had those problems with the stomach, it's because they used to roast it in such a way that, as I've given you an example, that is easily edible, mixed with herbs, and makes it easily digestible. But nowadays we don't do that. We eat it as it is, from the grill into our stomach, full of fat, full of burnt fats, so many antioxidants on it, and we consume that, and later we have problems. And because we eat more nyama choma without vegetables and very little of kachumbari. Normally, it's the whole plate is nyama choma and a spoonful of kachumbari. This does not help us. We end up having problems, big tummies, a lot of fat into our cells. We end up developing coronary heart diseases. We end up having high cholesterol levels. And the more it is not digested, the more deposits are happening into our body, the more it is not healthy. Let food be your medicine, and your medicine be food. If you look at your plates, is it food that is going to be pass the right information to you, or is it food that is just good to your tummy, to your tongue, and tasty, or is it food that will give right information and help you build yourself? That is the question for you today. So, having known that half of your food should be vegetables and high fiber diet, a quarter of it should be protein, and then another quarter should be the carbohydrates, that is either ugali, rice, or chapati. I know people who eat six pieces of chapati and then very little mboga. We need to reverse that. So, whatever you're eating as your carbohydrate and as your protein should be, both of them together should make up what? Your fiber or your carbohydrates. So, let's say you observe all those rules. Half of your plate is always vegetables. I've said you need to make it well. You need to boil it, probably. Steaming vegetables, not boiling, steaming your vegetables. Use as minimal oil as possible when cooking. There was a time sometimes back that the price of cooking oil was so high, and even the men were the ones controlling, locking up the cooking oils in their homes. That actually, Kenyans, you cannot fail to amaze you. We are being shown clips of men hiding the cooking oil, using the top of the cooking oil bottle to measure for the mother or the woman who's cooking in the house. I think we need to go back there, whereby oil is so much measured. You could take 2 liters of oil in a family of 5 and use it for a whole month. Just 2 liters. There are people who use 10 liters of cooking oil just for 2 weeks or less than, and it is not being consumed. They don't have visitors or anybody, just them who are using it. Minimize the use of cooking oil. Use more of liquid oil when you're cooking or preparing any kind of food. Our great-grandfathers had all this. They made sure most of their feeds were boiled or steamed or eaten raw. And we had very minimal cases of having upset tummies, of having cancers of the colon, cancers of the stomach. But nowadays, we like fast things. We microwave things very fast. You go to a fast food center, we are hungry, you go and eat chicken. You go and eat French fries. Things that are easily available. But my question is, when you look at it with your own eyes, is it communicating the right thing to your body? Is it, if you're told, if you're given a choice that whatever food you're eating is medicine, would you still take it? Or would you leave it? Because it will not help you in any way. Food can make you sick, and also food can make you so well that you can live a healthy life, long life, and become a productive individual in your community. Now, one point that I want to show is that I want you to assess yourself. Ask yourself this one question: which is the busiest part of your day, or the busiest part of your night? If you are a morning person, you are a day person, that is, you work every morning, then you need to restructure your diet so that apart from having half of it full of fiber, apart from using little oil in your food, there is a way when you eat, you will have more results and the food will be more productive to you. And this has been recommended. But if you are a day person, you work during the day, you don't work at night you go back home and sleep. So because your busiest time is during the day, when you wake up in the morning, you need to eat enough food. Why am I saying that? The food that you should have eaten at night, move it to breakfast. Eat ugali. Eat the chapati plus cabbages and some vegetable stew. Eat it in the morning. Eat the omena, sukuma wiki, and ugali in the morning, because your heaviest day is during the day. Then as your day keeps on progressing towards lunch hour, take a much lighter meal. And then in the evening, take the breakfast you're supposed to take. So if you wanted to take a slice of bread, 2 slices of bread, and a glass of milk or a cup of juice, that is what you're supposed to take. Why am I saying that? Because your busiest day is during the day. Your morning, you eat so that you can use the energy. If you don't want to increase weight, whatever you're eating, make sure you are eating it so that it can be utilized. When you are a day person and you choose to eat at night, heavy meal, that food before you sleep, you've already given yourself, your body, a lot of work. The time the food takes time to be ground, to be absorbed, and now to go into the fecal, and yet when you are at rest, your body's metabolic rate is low. That food ends up being deposited and ends up making you more fat. A lot of fat is deposited in your body. So when you know which is the heaviest or your most active day, then make sure that you start that active day with the heaviest meal and end that active day with the lightest meal, because when you sleep, you need to sleep. You need to make your body to rest. Not that you eat a very heavy meal, big ugali at night, and then you go back to sleep. Your body will have a lot of work. You won't rest well. You'll wake up very cranky because you are full. You won't be able to sleep. You'll be twisting and turning over the bed because there's so much work happening inside your tummy. So always make sure the hardest or the most active day of your schedule, you start it early with the heaviest meal and end it with the light meal. So we always say you change your breakfast to be eaten last and your supper to be eaten more. So we have had people who have followed the advice, who the food that the wife cooks at night for the men, tell your wife, no, I will eat it in the morning. And you wake up early enough after having had your 7 hours of sleep, shower, sit down and eat well. Once you have eaten well, go over your duties. In the morning, you might be having meetings. If, like for me, who is a nurse, the morning is the busiest. You have patients whom you are taking care of, you are listening to reports, you are doing procedures, it is very busy. So when you have eaten well, you're burning that food, you're burning that fat, you're burning the energy that you've eaten, and you're utilizing it. You're utilizing it. So you never get fat. You always look slimmer. You always look much active. You don't look lethargic. So we encourage also our children in the morning to eat well. If you have children who go to school in the morning, they are doing math, they need their brains to think well. When they have eaten well in the morning, by the time they are going for break, their minds is still very alert and active. The food, the brain that requires glucose is still using and getting more supply of glucose because what they ate was heavy enough to sustain them. When they go in the afternoon for the activities in the evening, they're able to run well and win. They're able to do the activities very well, but towards the evening, they should eat less. Otherwise, we have people who are growing fatter because they eat more in the evening instead of eating right. So you could be having the right vegetables, cooking your meal the right way, drinking water and sleeping the right way. But if you don't ensure that you know your pattern per day or per night, then you will have missed it and you'll be complaining and saying, oh, health workers, they always tell you funny things. Why aren't they doing this? Or why is this happening? It is not working. It is because you have not learned your body system. If you're a night person, the people who work at night and their shifts are always at night, what do you tell them? Because they're going to be active anyway during the night. So they are the ones who are supposed to eat supper well. Eat supper very well. Throughout the night, you'll be up and about. For nurses and doctors, some who are working at night, that is the system. By the time it's coming towards morning, eat very little because after your night shift, you go back and sleep. So change also your schedule for eating. And that has been found to be proven to be very, very helpful. Your health is your wealth. You need to choose to be healthy. You need to choose the right kind of food that will give the right kind of information to your body. You need to eat high fiber so that you are able to eliminate a good sum of poop, or you're going to go for a long haul, a large number. If you're seeing that you're not emptying your bowels often, small children, when they're born, they breastfeed. Every 3 hours, you find them also going to the toilet. Their system has not been what? It has not been intoxicated. Why? They're breastfeeding from the mother. So the system of opening bowels is very nice. After every 3 hours, they're breastfeeding, or when demanded, they poop very well. But as years goes by, you find somebody, they take even a week. Some will not go to the toilet even for a week. There is a problem, and you need to see a doctor. But before that becomes an issue, you need to do what? You need to start drinking your water at the right time. You need to start resting at the right time. You need to start eating the right food, cooking it the right way, and eating it at the right time for you to start having bowel movements, because you need approximately 1 kg of poop. And where will it come from if you eat pizza? Where will it come from if you just eat rice and pasta? All these things are easily absorbed. And I said, if you eat food that gets easily absorbed to your body, more insulin is being released. And the more insulin is being released, even the other stores, food is being broken down, and being stored, broken down and being stored. So you find you have a lot of belly fat, you are increasing in your weight, and you're wondering, why can't I lose weight? My viewers, thank you so much for listening. Remember, this airing, we'll be doing it every Tuesday, no longer every Thursday. Every Tuesday, the same time, 8:30 to 9. And please, I want to request you, if you want to get more and hear more about health benefits, how to enjoy God's health gifts, please subscribe, like, and share my channel. And let's learn more, because I'm your nurse mentor and I'm your nurse educator. Thank you so much for listening to me. From wherever you are, let me know that you are here and you are able to tune in. If you are learning anything, if you're having any difficulty anywhere, I want you to drop a message to me. I can always assist you, because remember, we have other areas or other people who could be having the same issue, but now in different levels, where you can be referred to a doctor, because this information I'm giving is for information purposes. But if you are having issues, you need to get referred. You need to see a medical doctor who will thoroughly examine you and see where the problem is. So thank you so much for listening to me, and have a good evening, a good afternoon, and a good morning from wherever you are tuned in. Thank you so much. I am your host, Celesta Mary _RN, meaning I'm a registered nurse. And God bless you as you continue to listen and to be blessed. Bye-bye. And